Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stamp and Chat Live. I am Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you from all over the United States and all over the world coming in live today for a fun card project. So how's everybody doing out there? I see lots of you leaving comments about your great weather you're having and different things that you're doing. Today we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to be making a card using what I consider to be a very unloved stencil in our collection. I don't use it enough, and every time I do, I really have so much fun with it, but I don't think I've done a live with it yet. So hopefully you guys have this stencil or you have something similar and you'll be able to play along. Tom is here today. How you doing, Tom?
Greetings all. Doing okay.
Good, good. It's good to see you. No cowboy hat today? You haven't picked one yet?
I've got them here. I've just got to switch headphones. And
oh, that's right.
You know how I go through my various moods throughout the live. Back here trying to keep it interesting.
That's true. We have a special guest in the studio. We have our cousin Mike is here sitting off to the side. He is hiding, but he is monitoring everything for us. So Mike, if you see any questions that Tom missed, just let me know if it sounds like it's something that I would actually be able to answer. All right. Well, we're going to remind you with a little banner at the bottom of the screen here to make sure that you leave a comment to be entered to win one of today's cards. We always give the cards away at the end of the live. And I think I'm going to get 2 cards in today because this one is super simple to make. So the big topic today is whether or not you decorate the inside of your card. Now, some people like to leave the inside of their card blank because they like to write a more personalized message. But some of you really have been asking for ideas on how to decorate the inside. So today what I thought I would do is make a nice outside panel, and then we're going to cut some of it off, and we're going to use that to decorate the inside. So let me show you the stencil that I'm going to use. The stencil I'm going to use here is called the Rose Swirl Stencil. Now, I know there are some other stencils in our collection that can probably be used in a similar way. We also have the big floral stencil, which is a really pretty one. But you do want to use something that's kind of a pattern, especially if you're going to be using this for the inside of the card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by using our We Are Memory Keepers paper cutter here, and I'm going to cut this down. Let me put my glasses on. I can't see a thing. We're going to cut this down to 6 by 6 because that is the size of the stencil. Now, if you're just making the front panel, you definitely could cut less cardstock. You don't need to have such a big piece. But because I want to use some of this for the inside and I want it to all coordinate, I'm going to cut the full 6 by 6 panel here. All right. So we can use a little bit of tape to secure this together. I'm going to just secure it right here on the front along the border. And I cut my piece of cardstock just a little bit bigger than the stencil. The stencil might be a little smaller than 6 by 6, like 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. But that'll secure everything in place. Now, this is one of those stencils that I feel isn't loved enough in our collection. And one of the reasons is because people aren't exactly sure how to use it. So I want to show you how easy it is to use this, especially if you have some of our smaller blending brushes. You can do this with the bigger blending brushes, but if you have any small ones, it's going to be even easier. Now I'm going to start by coloring in all the rose colored stencils, and I'm going to use my little stand from the ink stand shop here. And I'm going to use a pink blending brush. This is one I've used for other pink colors. And I always tell people if you have a brighter pink on there and you want to clean off your brush before you use it the next time, you don't have to wash your brush. You can just take a textured paper towel and rub off most of the ink. And you can see how it's starting to just rub clear here. Well, this is fine then. It's not going to transfer any ink. All right, Michelle said, do you normally use sentiments on the inside, Gina, or do you leave it blank? You know, Michelle, I do both. Sometimes I add a sentiment inside, and sometimes I leave it blank if I've got a lot of personal stuff to say. The stamp set I'm going to use today for this card is the Assorted Greetings stamp set. And it's got a couple of really nice greetings here. Thank you, hello, with sympathy, thinking of you, and get well soon that you can put on the outside of the card. And then it's got coordinating greetings that you can use for the inside of the card. So this is a really nice little stamp set to add to your collection, or you maybe have lots of stamps in your collection that would work for this as well. All right, so I'm going to start by inking up this brush with some Dusty Rose ink. That's the color I'm going to use today for my first card. And I'm going to start right in the center of each of these flowers. And I'm going to go dark in the center and work my way out to a little bit lighter. Now, if you guys hear any weird noises in the background, I'll just tell you right now, they're putting up new gutters here at work. And even though they're working on the other side of the building, I can still hear it. So you might hear it too. And I'm sorry about that. All right, I'm starting right in the center, and I'm going to work my way out, just giving that a nice swirl. And you can see how that darker color picks up close to the edges. That gives a lot of depth, similar to the way you would shade with Copic markers or with colored pencils and Gamsol. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. And I'm going to go around and do all of these flowers the same way. Sometimes with stencils like this, we forget that we can actually just color certain areas of them with certain colors if we use a smaller blending brush. And with these new smaller blending brushes, it really does make it easy. I'm going to add a little more to this one. Kind of like that nice dark pink in the center. Now you can see I'm going outside of the lines a little bit. That is totally fine. Remember, this is a stenciled kind of whimsical look, so you certainly don't have to be perfect. You just kind of want to get it mostly in that area. But I'm going to show you what I do to kind of blend everything together right at the end. Okay, and don't forget the ones off to the side here, since we're going to use that little panel for the inside. And if you're not sure what something is, if it's a leaf or it's a rose, it doesn't matter. Just color it with whatever you have in your hand and it will look just fine. Because if you don't know what it is, nobody will know what it is. That's what I think. Everybody doing well today? What are you guys making? What's on your craft table today? Don't forget, if you're just joining us, welcome to everybody. Leave a comment because we're going to be giving away the cards at the end of the show. And we do that by picking somebody who left a comment. All right, so now we have our roses done. Now let's move into some jelly bean green. So I'm going to get a green blending brush here. Let's see, could you use a background stamp, embossed and ink blended? You know, you absolutely could. That would give you a very similar look. You know, you could emboss it and do an emboss resist. Sure, why not? Okay, so I'm going to do the same kind of thing. I'm going to start in the middle of the leaf and just kind of work my way out. You see, I'm not going real dark, especially on these little ones. I'm not worried if it looks a little smudgy. Don't worry about it. It's all going to look beautiful when you're done. All right. There we go. Get a little bit over here. And you can kind of see where the leaves are because the leaves have little pointed tops. And then the areas in between, we're going to fill that in and bring everything together by filling that in. You know, and what I like is by kind of going a little darker in the center, it gives it the look of multi-layered stamping, or definitely the look of using colored pencils or Copic markers. If you're feeling more artistic, once you remove the stencil, you can go back in and shade a little bit with markers if you want, or you can shade with colored pencils. But just by using your blending brushes this way, just by going heavy in the center and a lighter touch on the way out, you're going to create beautiful shading. So you really don't have to do too much more. And again, this is one of those simple cards that so quick and easy to make. And if you don't have a lot of mojo, you don't know what you feel like making, you could just make a bunch of these panels and put them aside for when you do have more mojo. And you can grab one when you're feeling more creative and use it as part of your card. All right, so we're getting through all these leaves. Wait till you see what this looks like when I take the stencil off. It's so pretty. Just a few more. See, I think this might be a flower up here, so I'm going to grab my pink brush and just do that. Anything that looks a little bit round, I'm turning it into a flower. Okay, this might be a flower. No, that's going to be a leaf. We're going to make that a leaf. Okay, and did I get everything? No, here's a leaf up here. Okay. This is a leaf too. I can tell that's supposed to be a leaf. All right, now we've got some empty white space here. Oh no, Miriam. I don't know if you guys saw Miriam's comment, but Miriam hid her blending brushes from her granddaughter and now she can't find them. That's like something I'd do, Miriam. Okay, so now I'm going to use some Turquoise Sea, and this is where I'm going to blend all of this together. I'm not going over everything, but if a little pink went over the edge, that's going to turn more purple. If a little green went over the edge, that's going to turn a little bit more blue-green. So it's a great color to bring everything together. Ooh,
I bet a granddaughter knows where they are.
Yeah, maybe she took them. Everybody's asking when our next release is, and our next release is going to be Monday night, next Monday night, November 1st. So I hope you guys will join me. We have a brand new kit coming. We've got something brand new to Gina K Designs that we, well, it's not brand new. It's not brand new, but, well, maybe it is brand new. Sort of new. A little different than something that we've already had out. So I can't wait to show you. Okay, so I'm adding that in there. Just getting in there. It's okay if it overlaps a little bit on the leaves. Don't worry about that. And I think part of it is, you know, everybody's kind of afraid because they want their stenciling to be perfect, and they worry if they go outside the lines that it's not going to look good, but it really still looks beautiful. And there's white lines all in between all of this, so it really does kind of keep things separate. I'll show you what I mean in a minute when I pull this off. Hey, Tom's playing. Yeah, I agree. You know, Miriam, if I hid something and I couldn't find it, you know what would happen to me? I would look and look and look and look and look and look and look. And then finally I would just give up, buy new ones, and then the next day I'd find it. That's how it works sometimes, right? You'll find them. Kids find everything. Next time your granddaughter comes over, ask her to help you find them. She'll find them. Okay, so we're almost done this part. But you see how easy it is to get into those small areas? You don't have to work too hard to do that. So Sandy, what size brushes do I recommend for a beginner? Well, what I'm going to say to that is I'm going to ask you to answer this question, and then you're going to be able to decide for yourself. What kind of blending do you like to do the most? Do you like to work with intricate stencils, or do you like to work with more big, broad images, or just, you know, ink blending down the piece of cardstock? If you like just blending down the big piece of cardstock, go for the bigger brushes. If you like a lot of this intricate type blending and layering stencils, maybe go for the small ones. But you know, we sell 2-packs. So you could buy a 2-pack of big ones, a 2-pack of small ones. Try them out, see what works better for you, and then you could increase your collection from there. Okay, so now it's time to pull this stencil off. And look at how pretty this design is. Oh my gosh, this looks so pretty. I love it. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? You know, and that's, now you see the areas where I got a little pink and a little green in places that I shouldn't have. You don't even notice it because you've got that big, bold, thick white line going around all of those images. And this is just a single stencil, which I love, you know? I mean, you guys know I love layering stencils, but if they intimidate you or you're just starting out, This is a great way to introduce yourself to stencils that give you that layered look. Now I'm going to clean this stencil off with my tidy towel because I might use it again for my second card. I'm definitely going to use it again because it's only 12:15. And welcome to everybody. I see we're really getting populated. A lot of people coming in. Welcome. Hope you're all having a great Wednesday. It's Wednesday, Tom. It's hump day. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the borders off around here. And again, I'm just eyeballing it. As long as that border is a little bit over the edge of the blade, can you guys see that right in there? Then that's fine. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just nice straight cuts, quick, easy. Don't worry about measuring anything here. I'm going to go a little more on that one because I definitely want to get the full border off. Okay. There we go. Okay. So now that looks a lot better. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down for a panel for my card. Now you could use the Master Layouts die sets to do that. Here I have Master Layouts 2, and you can see that you could cut that out really nicely from there. But let's make this super easy. I mean, we're going to go above and beyond easy here. We're just going to hand cut these for our friends that don't have Master Layouts 2. What I'd like to do, though, is find the part in the stencil where I have the most flowers. So I think I'm going to cut it right about here. And I think I'll do this one. You could cut it. You could do the Master Layouts 1 measurements, which is 3 3/4 of an inch by 5 inches. So I'm going to do that. 3 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to cut my first pass. And then I'm going to turn it to 5 inches. Okay. So now I've got that nice panel that's going to be my card. Now this panel is going to be what's going to decorate the inside of the card. So I don't care how big it is, how wide it is. I can see how wide it is. All right. But what I want to do is I want to make it like the same length. So I'm going to go to the 5 inch mark here. There we go. Now, I could cut this in half, and I think I'm going to do that. This is going to be a little tricky, but what I'm going to do is I am going to cut it. Let's see. First, I'm going to take it to 1.5 inches. I'm actually going to turn it this way, though. I've got a little more pink on this side. So I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to cut it at 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to cut it down to 3/4 of an inch where there isn't even a mark. So that would be right about there, I bet. Close enough.
What brand is that cutter?
This is the We Are Memory Keepers cutter. That's going to be good enough, I think. Close enough. That looks pretty good, right? Okay. Yeah, this is We Are Memory Keepers. You can also use the Tim Holtz cutter for this or any big cutter that you have too. All right. Now let's assemble this one into a card. So I think my next step is going to be to do a black panel. I'll do a black panel for the outline. And again, first I'm going to cut it in half. I like to cut my cardstock in half so I have nice even sheets to put away. So this can get put away. Now you remember I started my white panel at 3 3/4 of an inch. So the easy way to remember this is you just want to go 3 3/4 of an inch and then up 1 notch to 3 7/8. Sometimes 3 7/8 can be confusing, but if you think about what you started at, the 5 inch mark, right? This is 5 inches going this way. And then you just bump it up 1/8 of an inch. That's going to be the perfect shadow layer for this card. Or you can use your Master Layouts 1 die set, and then you don't have to worry about it. Okay, now I'm going to take another piece of cardstock here, and I'm going to make 2 card bases out of it. Not sure if I want top fold or side fold. I think top fold. So I'm going to get the big gun out here. This is my big tonic. And I'm going to cut this at 4 1/4 inches. That's going to give me 2 tent fold cards. And I'm going to get my score, buddy. And I'm going to score this at 5.5 inches. You're right. It would make a great bookmark, Jean. That's a great idea. You can also do that, you know, just place it inside and then they have a little gift with their card. That's a nice idea. I know we have a lot of avid readers in our group. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is put this together. Let me get a little bit of my tape here. And I'm going to mount that onto my black panel. Looks a little crooked. Squeeze it over a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to put that whole thing onto my white card base. Isn't that such a pretty stencil? You guys like this? Okay. And now, yes, I got more tape, Leslie. Oh, I was stressing it the other day, wasn't I? I had like no tape left. I was like trying to lick pieces of cardstock to get them to stick together. It was not a good moment. Okay, so now I'm going to cut another panel that measures, let's see here. Let's do 3¼ inches by 5 inches. That's already 5 inches, so that's good. And we'll do one more black panel that measures 3 7/8 of an inch. Same thing, 3 3/4 going up one little notch, and then 5 going up one little notch. Okay. So this is going to be the inside of my card. Now, when you have this much cardstock going on in your card, it's going to get a little bit thick. You can actually use layering weight white cardstock as your card base because you've got 3 layers on the top and 3 layers on the inside, and that'll stiffen it up enough to make it feel like the 120-pound weight heavy base weight cardstock if you want to. You can do whatever you want. So we'll put that on there like this. Okay. Now what I'd like to do is I'd like to just decorate this going down the side for the inside. And then I'm going to decide what inside greeting I want to use. So if I want to use something like, I don't know what I'd do with that. You are wishing you comfort and peace in the midst of your sorrow. Then I might only use one, or I might take it right to the edge because that's a bigger greeting right there. And I think I'll do that. I'll take it right to the edge because let's make this a sympathy card. Wishing you comfort and peace in the midst of your sorrow. I think that will work. We can line this one up over here and make sure that works. It does. So I think that would be a really pretty inside. All right, so we will attach these down the side. And this makes use of that entire design, which is so nice to do. Makes you feel good, like you didn't waste anything. There we go. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Turn it this way so it's easier to place it.
What stamp sets are you using?
The only stamp set that I'm using right now is this Assorted Greetings. That's what this one is. So it's got the outside greetings and it's also got the inside greetings. Okay, so now this whole panel is going to go inside my card like that. I don't know, do I want to send out like a sympathy card as a gift to somebody? Maybe not. Maybe I'll change up the greetings since we're giving this card away. How about if I do, how about if I do thank you, you always bring a smile to my face. I'll do that. Okay, so now I'm going to get my Misty out. And I don't want to mess this up. So I've got my Misty here. I'm going to put this card down at the bottom of my Misty. You zoom out just a little bit. I know some of you are watching on a big screen, and this is probably like huge. And then I am going to use my magnet to just secure it in place. And it's okay if it hangs out the top. That's not a problem. Just make sure your door is clean, that you don't have a bunch of ink there so it doesn't ruin your card. Okay, and now let's pick that greeting. You always bring a smile to my face. Where'd that go? There it is. And what's nice is it leaves you a little bit of room to sign your name, to put their name. You know, you always bring a smile to my face. Love you and miss you. Hope all is well. Love, Gina. That kind of thing. You know, easy. If you need more space than that, you could put it up higher so that you know that you're going to write more. And of course, you can always write up here as well. I want to make sure that's even. Sorry, I got to get my head in the way. There we go. Get my head in the way again. Oh my goodness. Stamp set is a little sticky. Okay, so I'm going to get my black ink cube. Let me find it down here. Here we go. I like using an ink cube when I'm working with a tiny little delicate design like this. But of course you can use your ink pad. Just have to be a little careful not to get it everywhere. So we'll ink this up and we'll stamp it.
So Mike, cousin Mike, one of our viewers wants to know if you do paper arts.
Mike, do you do paper? Do you do cards?
No, I don't do cards.
Mike's a woodworker.
Yeah,
I
Mike
do
makes
pens.
absolutely beautiful wooden pens. And hopefully next year he's going to start an Etsy store. And when he does, we'll tell you where you can buy beautiful pens to send to people. Okay, so there we go. You always bring a smile to my face, right? Pretty, pretty. Now we're going to add an outside greeting. So we could do hello. We could do any one of these, or we could do a big giant hello. And that might be really fun. So why don't we do that? Hello, you always bring a smile to my face. And I think I'm going to cut this out using this die, this big hello die. So let's do that. You guys know I don't plan my cards ahead of time, which is kind of scary. And I was all ready to use the stamp, which you can definitely. But now I'm looking at it and I feel like it needs just a little bit more. So I'm changing it up right away. So we're going to use this big hello die. And I need a piece of black cardstock. Let me see if I've got a little scrap around. Oh, I do. Here's a scrap. So let me cut this down a little bit. Make it easy. Okay. So when I use a big die like this, and if you're new to Gina K Designs, you might not know I do this a lot. These big dies that have little intricate edges like this, or any die that's intricate, I like to turn it blade side up. I know a lot of you cut like this, which is fine. But if you lay it down blade side up and you put your cardstock on top, it's going to cut cleaner. I don't know why that is. I can't give you a reasonable answer because it feels like it's the same amount of pressure, but it really does work. And I also place it on one side or the other side of my die cutting machine, and that helps a lot too. So you see how it's just falling right out? Got stuff everywhere, but it is falling right out of that die. So there we go. Mike doesn't have a cowboy hat either. I gotta get Mike a cowboy hat. All right, there we go. That big hello on the outside. Isn't that fun? I love that. Okay, so let's just glue that down. Ooh, I see lots of you coming in, having your lunch break with us. We love that. Thank you for joining us. It's great to see all of you here. Just a reminder, make sure you leave a comment if you're new. Make sure you leave a comment. If you're not new, you're a repeat offender, because we're going to be giving away the cards I make today in the live, and that's how we choose our winners from the comments. So let's just pop a big hello on here, and we'll do that by using a little bit of Connect glue. Alrighty. So I'm just going to turn this over and just put a little bit of glue. See, I'm just dotting it on there. Our Connect glue goes on white. It dries clear. It's very easy to control. I say that as I'm losing complete control. When I see this, don't you think these die cuts would be really cute by taking a gel pen and just putting white dots all over the greeting? Wouldn't that be cute? I always think that when I'm putting dots of glue on the back, like how cute that would look, just to jazz it up a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to put that right on the front of the card. I'll just put it down here. There we go. And you could add a few little rhinestones in there or a few little sequins if you want. Let's do that. We'll throw a few sequins on there. Let me get my jewel picker. And so when I'm using Connect glue and I'm putting sequins on a card, I usually pick a couple spots that I want the sequins. I like to go in 3s or 5s. Odd numbers always look a little better. And just find where you want them and put your little dots of glue. Put one up here. We'll do 5. One there. And we'll put one over here. It's kind of magical down in this corner here. Oh, welcome. We have a newbie. If you're new, say hello. Tell us that you're new. We want to know who's new. And if you've been here a lot, tell us you're a repeat offender. Okay. All right, so we've got 3 different size sequins in this mix. And I'm only seeing 2. No, here's 1. So we'll use like a medium size one there. We'll use a small one up here. We can put a big one over here. Medium one here. And then a tiny one down here. It's so funny to see people saying, I'm a repeat offender. I love it. Okay. So there is a fun little sparkly card. Tom, can they see those sequins?
Yes.
Shining? Okay. All right. Welcome all our newbies. And of course, you repeat offenders. You know I love you. All right. And there we go. So there's a card inside and outside. All right, so let's make one more, but let's use a different color combo this time because we've got time now and we know what we're doing. So one color that, again, I feel that is highly overlooked in our collection is this color, Wild Wisteria. Why don't we use Wild Wisteria more? It is one of the most beautiful purples out there. It's got a lot of blue. It's got a real periwinkle feel to it, and we don't use it enough. So let's use it for this card. Sorry, my back's to you. If I sound like I left, I didn't. Here, I'm just grabbing another piece of cardstock. I'm going to cut this one to 6 by 6 again. This is great. So this is the review card for anybody that's just joining us and feeling like you missed out. Plus, it's always fun to just see the color when it's a different color combo.
What was the name of that stencil?
This is called Rose Swirl. Honestly, it's one of my favorites that I never use in a live. I don't know why. I got to use it more because it's so pretty, isn't it? Let's look at it one more time and just ooh and ah. Do you have any ooh or ah sounds, Tom?
Ooh or ah sounds.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, here it is. Ta-da. Hopefully he added some ooh or ahs. Did you do it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Oh my gosh, Diana was on delay and she couldn't figure out why everybody was saying repeat offender. That's so funny. We're just asking whether it's your first time and you're a newbie here to my channel or if you're a repeat offender. Diana, we know you're a repeat offender. Okay, so we're gonna swap out this pink here. We're gonna use a little Wild Wisteria. Yeah, Wild Wisteria is one of those beautiful, beautiful purples. What's my favorite gel pen? Oh, I can answer that one. My favorite gel pen is the Uniball Signo gel pen. I'll put it right here in the scene so you can see it. Right there, Uniball Signo. It's written in all Japanese, I believe. It's made by the Mitsubishi Pencil Company, Uniball Signo. It is the brightest white. It barely ever clogs, and I always get good results with it. Welcome to all my repeat offenders. Okay, again, I'm starting right in the middle here, and I'm pulling that. Oh, look at this color. Seriously, guys, is that gorgeous or what? Bringing that out from the center, darkest in the center, and coming out to light around the edges. And again, this is another perfect color to blend with that Turquoise Sea, because all it will do is make that purple a little bit more turquoise. Pretty, pretty. So we're going to do a different layout on this one, though. Of course, I cut my cardstock to work the other way, but that's all right. It's only cardstock. I have more, right? That's a little something up there. This is one. Tom's jazzy today. It's kind of funny, Tom. You should put yourself in the scene, sitting there playing like jazz chords with your cowboy hat on. There he is. It just looks funny because the music doesn't match the hat, but that's okay. Are there jazzy cowboys? All right, there we go. Someday you're just going to break out into singing too. I know it. All right, just a couple more little rounded swirls here. And this, for those of you who are just joining us, this stencil is called the Rose Swirl Stencil. I love it. Okay, now we're going to move into Jelly Bean Green again. I'm going to stick with Jelly Bean Green and Turquoise just because they're going to look really pretty in the picture that I'm going to post. But you could also use Apple Mint, Grass Green, Lucky Clover, Fresh Asparagus. Any of those greens would be beautiful. Also, I'm lazy and it's out. It's in my ink stand. I'm going for it. That's a pretty combination though, don't you think? Major repeat offender, Cheryl. Sometimes I know a lot of you guys are commenting and I don't always see all your comments right away. I go back and look through a lot of the comments, but sometimes I'm looking down at my project because if I didn't look down once in a while at what I'm doing, you guys probably wouldn't be watching me. It'd be quite a mess. So Tom, in the last live, somebody asked when you're going to come back and craft again. How are we going to do that with our new setup?
Well, Mike will have to play guitar.
Okay, Mike, you're going to have to come back and play guitar and run the board. Okay, he's going to practice. That's good. Oh, boy. So I don't know if you guys do a lot of cooking at home, but I got an Instant Pot, and I am loving it. I got it a couple of years ago, and... No,
I'm loving it.
Oh, Tom's loving it. I've been making vegetable soup on my Instant Pot, like a minestrone, an Italian minestrone soup. It's so good. So if anybody wants the recipe, I actually posted it in my highlights on Instagram. But I actually did a video of me making the soup. So I have a cooking show now. So if you follow me on Instagram, go to my profile, and then there's like these little balls that float on top of the pictures, like a little bar, little circles. And one of them is recipes. And I have my little cooking thing that I did. I don't know. I was in the mood. But it's really good. So it's finally soup season again. So if you're in the mood for some good soup, it's an easy one to make.
For those of you who weren't here earlier, Mike, my cousin Mike, is here with us today.
Yay,
Visiting.
Mike.
Glad to have him.
That's awesome. Okay, so now I've done all the flowers. You don't have, yeah, you can still, Heidi, if you, you're absolutely right. If you guys watch my recipe, Heidi's right. She's saying if you don't have an Instant Pot, you can still make the soup. You definitely can make my soup without an Instant Pot. But if you have one, it's another good recipe to add to your collection. Okay, so now I'm going to jump in with turquoise. Got my little, I'm using the bitty baby brushes, the little tiny ones. And now I'm going to go into these areas here and finish it out. And, you know, as you're going along, if you see something like, oh, that wasn't supposed to be a leaf, or that should be a leaf, just go ahead and pick up the other color and fill it in. Don't feel like you can't fill things in once you switched colors. Oh, I hear them working on those gutters. Do you guys hear that? Can anybody hear that? Or do you guys think it's like Tom's drummer? It'd be great, Tom, if you could play something in rhythm with what he's doing out there. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're having new gutters put on our building before the winter gets here, so they're out there working. Tom asked them to work on the other side of the building while we're live, but
that worked out.
It's they're not listening. I think that should be a leaf right there. I'm going back in with a little green. That was very good. I kind of like what you were doing there, Tom. I like to shut up once in a while and let you guys hear Tom because he plays so nice. Nicely. So I found out the other day that I've been putting an apostrophe in the word it's my whole life and I'm wrong. Anybody else? Had to go back and edit 8,000 posts.
Depends how you use it.
No,
It can be a contraction.
Oh, well, if it is, yeah, but no, it wasn't that. I've been actually using it wrong. Thank God for Natalie, who works here. Natalie used to be a school teacher, and she's been helping me by correcting my posts. Okay. All right, so ready for the beautiful reveal? Oh, good, Karen, you can't hear the thumping? That's good to know. All right, here we go. Oh, come on, you got to hear that. I'm feeling that. Oh, look at that. Tell me this combination isn't gorgeous. See, I thought the pink was going to be the one that I was most attracted to today, but I got to say, this one just glows. This one glows. Wild Wisteria. All right, we're going to trim around the edge again. Get all those edges off. Honestly, that, like, if you do little 6x6 scrapbooks or anything like that, that's such a pretty background. Love that. I'd like to have wrapping paper that looks like that too. Ooh, we got repeat offenders watching from work. That's an offense at work, huh? We won't say anything though. We love that you're here. Okay, let's make this one a little bit smaller so we have a little bit more edge to work with. So we'll make this one 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 of an inch. Let's see, I'm going to cut off a lot of purple down there. Let's see what it looks like on this side. Oh, that's better. Just cutting a lot of green off. Okay, so this size is the same as the Master Layouts 2 die set. You can see this one is the same size as the Master Layouts 1. So this is the smaller panel, but it's still going to look really good. And now we have a little bit of a bigger panel here to play with. It should be like a 2-inch. Oh, it's not. It's 2 and I got to do math. 2 3/4 of an inch. Tom, what's half of 2 3/4?
Oh my gosh. I quit.
1 3/8. See,
Mike.
Ask a woodworker.
Cousin
That's
Mike.
what you got to do. Cousin Mike knows. 1 3/8. Okay, that's easy. Wait a minute. 2 3/4. 1 3/8. No. No. Oh, wait a minute. No, you're right. I need to know what half of 1 3/4 is. Can you do that? Mike has his brain going over there. So what? Who knows? There's got to be some math people watching. 1.375. Okay. 1.375. Is that like 1 3/8? No, that's not
Diana
it.
said 7/8.
7/8. Okay. I'm going with 7/8. Or maybe that other person was actually giving me the decimal so I could do the
Or
math.
they were on the first question
Oh,
still.
all right. Hopefully this is going to be close enough. I think that's close enough. And here's the thing. If you don't make them the same, that won't matter either because we're doing a top and bottom deal here, so we don't need them to be even on the side. So if you cut yours and it's not even, don't worry. This one's a little bit bigger, but we're going with it. So now I'm going to cut this to 4 3/4, and I'm going to cut this to 4 3/4. Okay. All right. Now I need one more half sheet of white, but I'm going to cut it book style this time, so I can cut this on my small paper cutter. I'm going to cut it to 5.5 inches, and then we're going to score that at 4 1/4. The stencil that I used, for anybody who's just joining us, that is the Rose Swirl Stencil. One simple little stencil. It's not a layering stencil. It's just a simple little stencil. Such a fun one. Okay, so now we have our card base here. And now the next thing we want to do is cut some black panels. And again, all of these could be cut using the Master Layouts 1 and 2 die sets. But I'm just doing it this way because I know we have some new people here and they might not have those yet. So I want to make sure everybody can make this card. So we're going to cut this one at, do it on this side. My original one was 3.5. I'm going to 3.5 and I'm going up 1/8 of an inch. My original panel this way was 4 3/4. I'm going there and up to that 7/8 of an inch. Okay.
Kathy wants to know, how do you keep the words from sticking inside the die? Mine want to stay in really bad.
So that's a great question. I do use my Tim Holtz craft pick. If you don't have a craft pick, you can also use a toothpick. And our dies, and I don't know if all dies are the same, but our dies have these little holes here. Let me see if I can blow this up and get a little closer so I can show you that. They have these little holes here, and they are just release holes. They aren't cutting holes. And you just poke those out, and as you poke that out, the whole thing will kind of push out and you can grab onto it and then pull it. So you can loosen everything first, and then you can pull it out. Now, I know some people are going to say put wax paper, cut your dies with wax paper in there. And I'm going to just respectfully disagree. And the reason why I'm going to disagree with that is because I actually talked to the die manufacturer here in the United States that makes dies, and he said that that can actually over time damage your dies. So I don't want to tell anybody to do that because I don't want anybody's dies to get damaged. So it's really better to use the pokey holes. And it's just because the wax buildup gets on the blade, believe it or not, and over time that just dulls the blade, and it's really hard to get off. Oh, thank you so much for that comment. Yes, if you wouldn't mind giving this video a thumbs up. And if you're watching on YouTube, give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, you'll never miss another video. That's really wonderful. I appreciate it. You use a pokey tool too, Suzanne? Okay, so this is going to go here like this. So we're going to do this orientation for this card. So I'm going to put this on top. Okay. And then we could add a greeting. Jennifer, you're not new and you have nothing Gina K? Not yet? All right, so we're going to cut this black piece. Same. We went from 3.5 up. to 3 5/8, 4 3/4 up to 4 7/8. And we're going to cut out one more white panel. That's okay. You can make a lot of my cards using things you already have in your craft room. That's totally fine. This is going to be a 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And this is for my inside now. That's going to go like that for the inside.
Chandra would like to know if I play to please my wife or the audience.
That would be a you question, Tom.
Wow.
I think you should have your face on the screen when you see it so I can look at your reaction.
I think I try my best to stay out of the way.
To stay out of what?
Out of the way.
Out of the way. You're not in the way. What is happening outside this building?
I think they're taking more than the gutters.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, so now that's my inside, right? So I've got my outside and my inside. And now we can just put this nicely along the edge here and just leave it like that. We can do a top and bottom. This way we can put a bigger greeting in there. Let's do the top and bottom because it is so pretty. That's okay. We never want anybody to feel pressured to buy anything when they come to my videos. We just want you to have a good time. Although we are having a release party on Monday night, so I'm not saying that you won't be inspired because we have a brand new kit coming out and we've got something new-ish coming out that I think you guys are going to really like too. And I've seen some of the cards that my designers have made, and holy cow, are they beautiful. Isn't that pretty? I really like that. Now, let me tell you something else that you can do here if you want. And I'm just going to show it to you real quick because I know it's getting late and we got to wrap up soon. But you can take a piece of cardstock. Let's just cut that straight there. We'll cut it straight on the other side. All right. You can take a piece of cardstock and you can do a 1/8 of an inch cut. So wherever you are, let's take it to 1/8 of an inch there. Wherever you are, you can just move it down one notch, 1/8 of an inch. And then you can move it down 1/8 of an inch again, like that. So now you've got two little 1/8 of an inch strips. And you can add a little decorative edge right here if you want. And right here if you want. So that really kind of offsets. Should we do it? Let's do it. Why not? We'll do it. We have time. It really sounds bad out there.
Reminds me of my last trip to the dentist.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Drills and things going. Oh, poor Tom had to go to the dentist yesterday. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
Good, good, good.
Right?
Yes. Yes, you are. You're feeling just fine. All right, so let's add these little strips on here just for a little decorative edge. All I did was cut them down to the same size as these white panels. And we'll just pop it in there like that. And we'll come, I'm just butting it right up against. See how easy that is to add that? And that really adds something nice there. You could use Connect glue for that too. You don't have to use tape, but again, I'm just putting it into place on the one side and then just kind of butting it up against the edge.
Yes, I agree with Deborah. Dentists are good. Not only are they good people, they are amazing when you think of what they do.
Yeah, I love my dentist. She is awesome.
They are amazing. And I've told them many times.
I know, you're a very nice patient. You always compliment everybody and tell them they did a great job. You're a very nice person, Tom.
It's just amazing what they do.
Okay, so now we're going to put our greeting in here. We can use any size greeting. The warmest of wishes, this card comes to say, hope you feel better with each passing day. Isn't that beautiful? And then for the with sympathy one, thoughts and prayers are with you during this difficult time. Wishing you comfort and peace in the midst of your sorrow. You always go above and beyond. Thank you for the thoughtful gift. I don't know what I would do without you, and you bring a smile to my face. Okay, let's do this one. We'll make a get well card. I like that. And this is a nice big greeting in here. And remember, this is just ink, so you could sign right over that in black if you want. Now, another thing about this card layout, it is a quick and easy card layout. With this stamp set, this Assorted Greetings stamp set, you can make a variety of cards. And this is a great gift idea for the holidays. So you could make 4 to 6 cards with envelopes, put them in a little clear box, or make a box. I have a video on how to make a box. And then you could give this to somebody as a gift. This was always a gift that I gave my mom every year because my mom would send cards to people. And, you know, she would spend a lot of money going to Hallmark. She'd be spending $5, $6 a card. And I would give her a box of cards, and she would love that because she could send them right out to people. And everybody would always say, oh, it's handmade, so it's better than Hallmark. Not that it's better than Hallmark, but, you know, it's a little better. Okay, so shall we do a get well greeting? Let's do get well soon. And then we're going to emboss this on a little black, and we're going to cut it out with a die. So I'm going to get an acrylic block here. We're almost done, I know.
This is Assorted Greetings, this stamp set?
This is Assorted Greetings. It's truly one of my favorites because it's so versatile. We do have one called Birthday Greetings, too. It's all birthday sentiments. So if you make tons of birthday cards, it's got inside and outside greetings for that as well. I'm using some of the Gina K Designs Embossing and Watermark ink here, and I'm going to just stamp that. And then I'm going to use a little bit of embossing powder. Sprinkle that on. There we go. Ooh, I have a little thing there. So you guys know I'm going to use my very expensive watercolor brush that I don't know how to watercolor, so it's become a dust brush for my embossing powder. It's a great brush, though, I'll tell you that. Not what it's intended for, but, you know, it works. All right, and we'll put that back in there. And I'm going to just heat up my embossing tool for just a second here. Behind my back. I don't know what I did there, but that happens too. Yeah, we do have the clear boxes. Thanks for mentioning that, Karen. We have clear boxes that are the perfect size for gift cards, you know, making a box of gift cards. And they're just the right size. They come in a pack of, I don't know how many, like 6. So you can make 6 gifts out of it. Here we go. Nice and bright. And then we will cut that out using, what should we use here? Should we use Master Layouts 2 for this? Cut it with a little detail. Or what if we use, I just have to look and see if this will fit. I don't think it's going to fit. No, it doesn't fit. Okay. Let's use something from Master Layouts 3. We'll use this. Put that on there. I don't know what's going to happen now, guys. Tom just left. Gave Mike no instructions over there. He's on his own. It's all right. He'll be back, though. He's probably telling the guys not to work right outside. Okay. All righty. Now I'm going to cut this out. Ooh. And Tom, we're going to give these away. My other plate under there? Yeah, it is. Have you done that? Looked around your craft room for 2 hours and the plate was under the other plate? It does kind of look like Van Gogh's Starry Night, Cynthia. You're right. It's got that swirly look to it. Okay. So now we have the Get Well Soon. And we're going to just pop that up on the outside. Very simple. We'll just sprinkle a few little rhinestones around it. And then we will be done that card. So I can do that afterwards. And remember, if you watch us on YouTube, after the video, I take high quality pictures of my cards and I post them on the community tab here on YouTube. If you're part of our Facebook group, I will post these in our Facebook group. And if you're not part of our Facebook group, I highly encourage you to come on over because we would love to have you there. So here's the first card that I made. Well, the second card that I made. Here's the first card that I made. And I do want to show you, you guys, I want to show you the beautiful pen that our cousin Mike makes. He makes these. Look at this pen. Let me get some white cardstock behind it so you can really see how beautiful it is. Look at this. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous?
On the lathe? Is that what you do?
Yep.
Wow, that is beautiful.
And puts them all. That's a music theme.
Look at that. Oh, look at the guitar. Look at that. Can you see that? Is that showing up well, Tom?
It's a little dark. When you turn it, it's good. Yeah, there you go.
Look at that. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. And what
He made this for Tom because of his guitar playing.
What are some of the other themes, Mike?
Everything.
Like
He makes
pen?
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and
They get a pen for everything.
he's going to have an Etsy next year. You're going to
Yeah, probably
roll that out.
That'll be awesome.
Very cool.
Well, that's beautiful. That is really nice. All right, Tom. Well,
Okay.
now I'm going to pop this greeting up with some black foam squares here while you are picking the winners.
All right.
So let me, I got to cut these in half. I got a mess back here. You have no idea what's happening back here behind me. Okay. So, Tom,
Yes.
I think we both need to be in. There we go. All right. So I'm adding these. I lost my glasses today. I have an old pair of glasses on. I can barely see what I'm doing. So I apologize if I look at these cards later and they are a complete mess. I think they look okay, though. And, you know, the worse your eyes are, the better my cards look. So let's all right, we'll put that right there. Get well soon. And I'm just going to add a couple sequins, just like I have on this one. So we have a little sparkle on here. Okay, so let's give these away. Who gets the hello card?
Okay.
The pink
hello.
Rose Swirl card goes to...
Drum roll. Mary Jo Thomas. Mary Jo Thomas.
Mary Jo! Woohoo! Congratulations, Mary Jo! All right. You get the pink Rose Swirl card, Mary Jo. All right. And who gets the Wisteria
The
card?
Wisteria card goes to Karen Talbot.
Yay, Karen! Congratulations! Karen and Mary Jo, all you have to do is send an email to info@ginakdesigns.com and let them know whether you won the pink card or the Wisteria card. You could say purple too. It's totally fine. They'll get that information to me, send your name and address, and I will get that shipped right out to you. All right, everybody. Well, this has been so much fun. I'm going to be back later this week, hopefully, fingers crossed, with another 5-minute card video. I try to get those up somewhere between Thursday and Friday, so hopefully I'll get another one out there and you guys can enjoy that for the weekend and give that technique a try. We will be back on Monday night with some of our illustrators and, of course, Tom, and we are having our brand new release. It'll be 7 p.m. Central Time on Monday night, so I sure hope you'll join us for that. All right, everybody. In the meantime, have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy. We love you all so very much, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.